Well, we have some news I'm sure you guys have heard already, and this is very disturbing to say the least. This is coming from, shout out to everybody that put me on, was tagging me on Twitter. I thought this was some type of joke, but the Hillsborough County Sheriff Office put out a request, said, need your assistance in locating a wanted subject, Cameron Sutton, 29. He is wanted for ABDV. He may be driving a Jeep Grand Wagoneer. They give the license plate. And then you have Cam Sutton, the same one that plays for the Detroit Lions. So I thought this was a joke. Everybody was tagging me on Twitter, and I'm like, here we go again with some made up stuff. And then as the seconds and the minutes and it started passing, it became more and more of a reality that this was true. And then I saw this tweet as well from Dave Burkett. Shout out to the people that shared this with me. Says, on the phone with Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, a public information officer said that this is the same Cam Sutton that plays for the Lions, and a warrant has been issued for his arrest. So I'm just going to say this, is that I fully expect Cam Sutton to be done. Obviously, football is the last of our concerns right now. Hope everything is well with the person that he was dealing with. Trying to be very careful here. Of course, we need to see what happened. But apparently, this right here is the one that kind of takes the cake. That when you add insult to injury, and then this one is just goes over the top. Says, it is being reported that Cam Sutton allegedly picked up his girlfriend and right there, this right here. Okay. And fled the scene. Now, again, stuff that goes on the internet doesn't necessarily mean that it's true. All right. And research needs to go into this, but I do appreciate Dave Burkett looking into this, got on the phone like a good reporter should do, and verified that it is Cam Sutton. Now, he just was guaranteed something on his contract, but contracts in football don't matter right now. But when it comes to the Detroit Lions, I fully expect him to be cut within the next 48 hours, if that. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't hear it by the end of today or in the next 48 hours. Usually when it comes to things like this, the NFL and their teams have a zero tolerance policy. They usually take action and ask questions later. We've seen people dealt with that were falsely accused, and we've seen people dealt with swiftly that were actually guilty of what they were being accused of. This is a very sad thing. And you know, I hate, this is a football channel and that's what we do. We talk about football. So to bring it back to the football realm, what does this mean for the Detroit Lions? I fully expect him to be cut. I can't say that enough. What does this mean when it comes to cornerback? I don't think that it necessarily changes the draft strategy. I still think we're going defensive end because Brad Holmes went cornerback heavy in free agency. That he painted himself into a picture, but again, a corner. But again, you don't expect stuff like this to happen. So I fully expect them to go. Maybe now he tries to trade back, get some extra capital, takes a defensive end with that early second round pick, and then gets a cornerback later in the draft, or vice versa. Or what this could possibly mean is there are other folks out there. You have, I believe it's Akila Witherspoon. You have Tre'Davious White that may be coming, on a visit to Detroit eventually if he makes it past the teams that he's already scheduled to meet with. So I don't think this necessarily changes the draft approach that Brad Holmes, he talked about it before, that this didn't. But what I will say with a certainty in my belief is that Cam Sutton will be cut. There's no getting around this. The NFL will cut you for what it appears you've done, not even the actual evidence and go through due process. They will cut you immediately. So the fact that he's still on the Detroit Lions roster is quite surprising, as this dropped, an hour and a half ago, if I'm not mistaken. This information came out 2 hours ago at 10:17. So it's been 2.5 hours, almost over 2.5 hours when you have seen this video. And I fully expect him to be cut. Cut, ask questions later. That's usually what the NFL does. So the Detroit Lions cannot have a person, if he is indeed guilty of this stuff, cannot have a person like this on their roster. It will not, everything that they stand for will be thrown out the window if Cam Sutton is guilty of these things. If he did these, if he has done, because guilt is something else. If he's done the things that he's being accused of doing, then he has to be cut. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. And as far as the contract is concerned, there is something in usually all of these contracts that if a person was to violate a code of conduct, so to speak, then they wind up losing their contract. So it's not something that the Detroit, trust me, contract is the last thing that the Detroit Lions are worried about right now. I'm sure we've seen this before when it comes to cases like this and contracts, things are done. So anyway, this is going to be quite intriguing to see how this turns out over the next couple of hours or days. We'll see what direction the Detroit Lions go on. And, I have to do this, the usual YouTube stuff. The Lions sitting behind me. If you like that, it's called King of the Jungle, and the maker of it is actually having a flash sale. It's going to be, if you use the code in the description, I don't get any kickback for this, but if you use the code in the description, you will save $25 off your purchase. So anyway, subscribe if you haven't already. And the giveaway is still happening. We're still doing all this stuff, but this is kind of like, I thought this was a joke. I thought, because you literally can make anything up about somebody, put it on social media. There was a tweet going around the other day that CJ Gardner-Johnson was dogging the city, and it actually got me. I was instantly heated. I didn't check the tag, his handle. I didn't do anything, and it wound up being a troll account. So anything, but when I first saw this, I just was like, this can't be true. Because Cam, you never can judge a book by its cover, because Cam seemed like he was cool, calm, collected, laid back, and if this stuff is true, he is none of those things. He lost control. So anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. There's nothing really I can say. This channel is made possible by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. So consider subscribing to the YouTube channel and become a member if you so see fit. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.